Welcome back. We got a starter that's acting up in this car. We got to swap that out before it gets any worse. First step, disconnect the battery. Can't have this hooked up when you're trying to do this. This is a 2014 Accord, and unfortunately this starter is in kind of a crappy spot. You need to jack the car up in the air to get access to it. The oil drain plug hole is here. On the back of the motor, the starter is hidden up there. Here's the new starter. The bolts are 14 millimeter. The bottom one here, the top one has a long extension on it, so the head of the bolt will be actually out over here. And you could see like at the end of the starter, you got the connection for the battery cable, another plug that goes on, and there's a wiring harness that's attached onto this little tab. You need to push up on the little release pin on it, and then you could kind of pull that off and get it out of the way. Well, you got that wire out of the way now, and now you could start to work on the bolts. The 14 millimeter on the top, and that one on the bottom over here. We'll probably put an extension on this one to get it off over here. Let's see what works best. I used a long extension with a wobble on the end of it to loosen up the bottom one. The top bolt I broke free with a long ratchet, and then I put a little stubby one on there to unwind the rest of the bolt. It's got quite a lot of amount of threads on it, so it might take you a while to get it off. Here's what the top bolt looks like going into the starter right here like that. It's got a lot of threads to come out in a tight spot. Bottom one, relatively easy to get out. Okay, with the bolts out and the wiring harness off of that clip, you could pull the starter out and the wires are still connected. You need to get it in a position where you can get the wires off. So we're kind of working it out. We need to get it down over here a little bit more. It's kind of hard to do this with the camera in one hand, but you get the idea. Now, here's a better angle. We have to get that plug unplugged from there, and this rubber cap's got to come off, pull it free, and there's a 12 millimeter nut behind there that's holding the cable. So let's get that plug unplugged first. A small screwdriver can be helpful to pry up the little tab to pop that plug off. We have that little rubber cap disconnected over there. That other one fell off, so ignore that bolt. There's a nut behind there that's 12 millimeters, so we'll get that undone and that'll unhook our cable. And with that wire unhooked, your starter will come out. And we got to put the new one back up in the same position and hook up this and plug in our terminal over here. Make all your connections back on the starter while it's sitting like this, and then you could shove it up in the spot where it belongs. With a little fighting. Need two hands to finish. That top bolt can be tricky putting it in. Before you shove the starter all the way up into where it belongs, put the bolt into the hole on it and kind of leave it dangling in there, and then line the bottom one up and then get the bolts in there just loosely for now, finger tight. Now I'm going to go back and tighten them all up. Once they're tight, I will put this thing back on the wiring harness clip. I like helping people, but I could use your help too. So if this video helped you out, do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Hook up your battery and then give it a crank. See if it works. 108,000 miles. All right, awesome. Another problem solved. My niece can be happy. She can drive all the way back to Boston where this car came from. Thanks for watching. You're a statue guarding the entrance. You're doing a good job.